Flow. At some point in our lives, we've all felt it. That moment when everything seamlessly falls into place and our actions feel not just simple, but innately right. That feeling where everything aligns perfectly and effortlessly. Maybe it was during work, or while playing your favorite sport, or even something as simple as cleaning, where you were so absorbed with what you were doing that everything else seemed to fade into the background. It was just you and the present moment, almost as if you were on autopilot, but in the best way possible. This is what in our modern world we call flow state. But what if I told you that an ancient philosophy known as Taoism had been elucidating this for thousands of years? From a Taoist's perspective, they refer to this flow state as being in harmony with the Tao. You may be asking, what is the Tao? Well, that is a question that can't really be answered, and it's futile to try. Our understanding of the Tao only goes as far as limitation of our perception. It's like trying to describe the flavor of air or the color of wind. Lao Tzu, who is regarded as the founder of Taoism, created the masterpiece known as the Tao Te Ching, wherein he wrote, "The Tao that can be described is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be spoken is not the eternal name." However, in an attempt to conceptualize it, think of it as the ultimate principle underlying the universe, an ineffable truth beyond language, embodying harmony, balance, and the interconnectedness of all things. It is the natural order of things, a path of least resistance, where life unfolds in a spontaneous, unforced manner. The Taoist ideal with this natural flow is known as wu-wei, often translated as non-action, or the paradoxical action of non-action. Contrary to misconception, wu-wei is not about inaction or passivity. Rather, it embodies an intuitive, intelligent alignment with the natural rhythms of life's events, a harmonious dance with existence, not a struggle against it. It's about acting in sync with the natural order, ensuring our efforts are not just effective, but gracefully efficient with minimal exertion. Wu-wei, in essence, is what we in the modern world might refer to as being in the flow. That which offers no resistance overcomes the hardest substances. That which offers no resistance can enter where there is no space. Few in the world can comprehend the teaching without words, or understand the value of non-action. Take a moment to think about water, the life force of our planet and our bodies. Water, in its essence, represents the ultimate example of effortless flow. It doesn't struggle, force, or resist. It simply moves according to the path laid out by the environment. As Bruce Lee famously once said,
Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. And water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
Another Taoist philosopher known as Zhuangzi often spoke about this state of flow. While Lao Tzu focused on the nature of the Tao and living in harmony with it, Zhuangzi emphasized the relativity of things and the joy of living in accordance with naturalness. He proposed that happiness is nothing but wu-wei. That is, using one's natural abilities and intuition to flow with one's environment. When one is fully engaged with what one is doing, one begins to act effortlessly, and one's whole mindset changes from that of fear and avoidance to that of engagement and openness. To truly grasp the essence of wu-wei and flow, let us turn to a classic tale from Zhuangzi about the dexterous butcher. Butcher Ding, while cutting up an ox for Lord Wenghui, moved with such grace and ease that his actions seemed more like a dance than labor. Every motion was in perfect harmony with the task, as if the butcher and the ox were partners in a well-rehearsed performance. Lord Wenhui, astonished by this display of skill, praised Ding, who humbly responded that his art transcended mere skill. Ding explained that initially he saw only the ox. However, over time, as his understanding deepened, he saw beyond the physical form. He started working with a natural structure, effortlessly finding the spaces between joints. His movements were not dictated by sight, but guided by intuition and a deep understanding of the ox's anatomy. This level of mastery, where the physical act becomes a reflection of a deeper, almost spiritual understanding, exemplifies wu-wei in practice. It turns out, what Taoists have known for thousands of years, modern science is just beginning to uncover. Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, a renowned Hungarian psychologist, introduced the concept of flow state. He referred to it as the secret to happiness. Flow is a state of optimal experience that each of us can incorporate into our everyday lives, one characterized by immense joy that makes a life worth living, a mental state where individuals are completely absorbed in an activity, achieving a heightened sense of focus and fulfillment. People often describe this as being in the zone, feeling like you have control over the situation, resulting in an experience that is not physically or mentally taxing. Flow is what scientists refer to as autotelic experience, coming from the Greek words autos, self, and telos, goal or end. These are activities that are inherently rewarding pursuits that are ends in themselves. Flow experiences are the epitome of intrinsic reward, the kind of deep engagement that makes activities worthwhile for their own sake. So then, what makes someone enter a flow state? Taking a look at the flow model, flow occurs when a task's challenge and one's skills at the task are both high. Consider Lionel Messi, often hailed as the greatest footballer of all time. Observing him on the field offers a textbook example of flow in action. Watching Messi play, you see more than just athletic prowess. You witness a masterclass in flow. His split-second decision-making, composure under pressure, and seemingly effortless control of the ball are hallmarks of someone deeply immersed in the flow state. In these moments, Messi isn't just playing football. He's in a dynamic, fluid state of being, where every move is a natural extension of his body and mind. When someone enters flow state, some interesting things happen within the brain. Neurochemically, there's a surge in the release of neurotransmitters like dopamine, serotonin, endorphins, and norepinephrine, which as a result enhances focus, elevates mood, boosts creativity, and speeds up reaction time. Dopamine in particular plays a critical role in the reward system of the brain, fueling our sense of enjoyment and motivation. Neurologically, the prefrontal cortex, the brain's area associated with higher cognitive functions like self-reflective consciousness, decision-making, and moral judgment, shows decreased activity. This reduction leads to a phenomenon known as transient hypofrontality, which is thought to contribute to the loss of self-consciousness and time distortion typically experienced during flow. Essentially, as the prefrontal cortex quiets down, we stop second-guessing, over-analyzing, and critiquing every action, allowing for a more instinctive and creative response. Brain imaging studies also indicate increased communication between different areas of the brain during flow. This enhanced connectivity allows for more efficient information processing, enabling the individual to tackle complex tasks with greater skill and ease. The combination of neurochemical changes and altered brain activity creates an optimal environment for heightened creativity, problem-solving, and performance. Now, you may be thinking, well, are wu-wei and flow state the same thing? Well, yes and no. There are some differences to highlight. Mihai prefers to use language of control, focusing on how the ego expertly navigates the external world by mastering complex skills. On the other hand, Zhuangzi embraces a philosophy of non-action, or wu-wei. He advocates for aligning harmoniously with nature, essentially teaching us not to interfere with the natural flow of things. These two perspectives may seem different, but they actually represent the two sides of the flow experience. Csikszentmihalyi, in his exploration of flow, highlights the aspects of power and command one achieves in this state, reflecting its yang characteristics. This facet of flow emphasizes how individuals challenge their focus and energy to conquer challenges, thereby gaining a sense of mastery and control. Conversely, Zhuangzi's perspective illuminates the yin element of flow, underscoring the ease and naturalness with which one can engage in activities. This view suggests that in true mastery, effort seems to vanish, and actions become as natural and unforced as the flow of water. Thus, while Taoism approaches flow from a spiritual and philosophical standpoint, emphasizing the natural, intuitive aspect of action, science offers a more empirical and analytical perspective, focusing on the psychological and neurological underpinnings of this state. Both views, however, converge on the same fundamental principle. That flow represents a state of being where we are at our most effective, fulfilled, and aligned with the essence of our activities. It's a reminder that, whether through ancient wisdom or modern science, the pursuit of harmony, balance, and alignment with our actions and environment remains a timeless and universal human aspiration. That's it for today. We recently launched a Discord server. If you are interested in connecting with like-minded individuals, please join and say hi. Peace.